Oh, snap. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button. I don't know what the heck you do on Facebook or Instagram anymore, but we're live on all of them, y'all. Oh, my word. Shout out to TikTok. We're live there as well. We're just going live everywhere, y'all. So do all the things, no matter what platform you're watching on. And welcome in, y'all. My name's Patrick. You like true crime? Sweet. We're live pretty much every night, like virtually every night, damn near every single night. So let's oh, it says we're live over there too. Sweet. All right. Y'all, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. Apparently, there's well, first off, we're gonna talk about a canine dog that apparently jumped off of a 30 or 40-foot bridge after a suspect, yeah, crazy as hell, got him. That's insane. Then we're going to talk about, this is crazy, y'all. A firefighter, right? And he's like a lieutenant firefighter. I guess like found the 16-year-old boy and decided to get him to with his wife while he was just in the corner watching.
You what?
Yeah, this is crazy as hell. I guess she used to work for the DA's office too, which is insane. So
What?
Crazy. That and then some Gypsy Rose craziness as always. So let's do this. Are y'all ready? Put some thumbs up in the chat. Let's see where everybody's watching from. And here we go. I'm gonna shrink myself down. And Christina Randall is up first.
So in today's video, this is a video that I found myself researching just about everything I could find surrounding this situation.
Oh, hell. And y'all make sure you show some love to Christina Randall. She's pinned down in the description.
I was literally sitting at home just scrolling on Facebook, scrolling through, looking at all my friends' kids' pictures. You know how it is, seeing what everybody's doing during the summertime. And I saw one of my friends post this video. It almost looked like a Snapchat video, and I'll show it to y'all later in this video. But it looked like somebody was just filming from their phone, and it was a bridge, and it was a canine officer running on the bridge, chasing what was probably a suspect on foot. And then you just see the canine officer jump, and then you don't see the dog anymore. And I was like, oh my gosh, like what happened? Why is this dog running? Why did the dog jump? What was going on? And then I found a bunch of information that I think is interesting, and I'm going to share with y'all today. Today, we're going to be talking about an incident that totally shocked me when I first saw it. It is about a canine officer named Streeter that has since been awarded a Medal of Courage since this incident took place.
Damn, you should have called him Bridger because he's jumping off the damn bridges.
But first, I think that we need to talk about police canines, because I learned so much from seeing this one clip of a video and then researching about it. So police canines are dogs that are trained to assist officers and law enforcement officers. This can include searching for items such as substances, locating missing people, or people that have fled from the cops' custody, basically on foot. And they also serve as protecting officers and finding other evidence. The breeds that are most commonly used by law enforcement are German Shepherds, Belgian Malinois, and they look a lot like German Shepherds, but they're all just so cute. I mean, hello, they're all so cute. Bloodhounds, Dutch
Right.
Shepherds, and of course, Labrador Retrievers. I mean, everybody's favorite dog. Canines are used on federal and local level, and they're even used in the military. Canines are typically assigned to their handlers, and they will train together with them. Like the handlers will train alongside the canine, and they have to remember a bunch of different verbal commands and hand gestures. So it's not all audible, it's also hand gestures as well, which I find so fascinating. Initial training for a canine typically takes between 8 months and a year, depending on what they're being trained for. It can be a pretty lengthy process since it begins with training the handler, the officer. They begin with training the officer first. the handler has to make sure that they will be able to train and maintain their canine to the best of their ability. The handler has to have already completed the standard police academy training, and they have to have had 1 to 2 years of patrol service or patrol experience before they can even become eligible to transfer to the specialty canine unit. Now,
Oh, hell.
for a dog to be considered, they have to first be able to complete a basic obedience training course. They must be able to obey commands of their handler without any hesitation. These dogs are typically trained
Right?
with commands in other languages as well. So just because you have a canine puppy, a cute little German Shepherd puppy, doesn't necessarily mean that that dog is going to be a good fit to become an officer one day. These dogs that are
Oh,
used in law enforcement
Lord.
are trained to either be single purpose or dual purpose. Now, single purpose dogs are usually used
Isn't
for
that the ones that sniff
backup,
for
they
stuff?
are used for personal protection, and they're also used for tracking. The dual purpose dogs do everything that the single purpose dogs do, but they also detect either things that blow up, and they also detect substances. However,
Oh,
the
hell.
dogs are trained to detect one or the other. You're not going to have one canine dog that does substances and explosives. It's one or the other. These dual purpose dogs are typically the dogs that you see when an officer comes and they are using their canine to search a suspect's vehicle. In the US, if a dog indicates the presence of substances, this gives an officer probable cause to search without a warrant. Single purpose and dual purpose dogs are typically the dogs that you will see assisting officers in arresting suspects as well. Whether they're being held next to the officer and the dog is barking, or whether the officer lets the dog loose and the dog runs and gets the suspect, pursues them on foot, and typically
But like what happened here, y'all, I'm telling you, this dog jumps off of the bridge apparently.
takes them down. The canines are trained to bite, shake, and hold the arm or leg of an agitator. And I'm sure a lot of y'all have seen these videos where during training, the agitator wears this certain protection. Canines usually work 6 to 9 years before they are retired unless an injury or something retires them earlier. And something that I believe is totally necessary and fair is that the police canines do receive the same honor as their human partners. And that is what is going to bring us to today's topic. Escambia County
Oh, hell.
Sheriff's Officer Canine Streeter. Escambia County is the westernmost and the oldest county in Florida. It covers places like Pensacola, Cantonment, and so on. Canine
Oh, hell.
Streeter belongs to Deputy Stimmel and was actually named after Corporal Eric Streeter, who passed away in the line of duty back in 1984. He was introduced to Eric's family back in 2021. And you guys, I'm about to show y'all this video, and I did not even know that this was a thing. How emotional.
As a matter of respect and to honor our deputies, and so these names will continue to fight crime right here in Escambia County. We have family members for Eric Streeter and Deputy Don Cook, and now they get to meet the namesake of their loved one. And now it is my honor to introduce the family of Corporal Eric Streeter, who also was killed in the line of duty serving Escambia County, to our newest canine, Canine Streeter. Come on up here.
Oh, they gave him his last name. Okay, I see what they did. That's pretty amazing.
Hi. It's okay. It's all right. Yeah. Street
Aww.
Just patrol canceled, so just canceled. That was perfect.
It was awesome. Perfect.
It is perfect timing. Hi, sweetie. Hi.
Good boys.
They named the canine after one of the fallen deputies, his last name. That's pretty awesome.
He sure is.
Good. Good boy. Good boy.
All right, thank you.
Let's see.
Get it, y'all.
This brings us to the high-speed situation that we're going to be talking about that happened this year. So on June 24th of this year, 2024, deputies were notified that a known stolen car had been spotted. So the deputies made their way over to the location, and as they were heading there, they were told that over 40 shots had been fired on the same road that the stolen vehicle was spotted on. Now, as you can imagine,
40?
this started to seem like a very serious crime had occurred that may have been related to the stolen vehicle. When the deputies arrived to the area, they spotted the stolen vehicle, and when they did, they tried to pull it over. However, this is when the pursuit began. And when you look at where the pursuit started versus where it ended, the officers began to chase this stolen car for a ways. Do you hear me? On the interstate, high speed, all of that. Now, the pursuit ended when a deputy performed a pit maneuver on the vehicle on the Escambia River Bridge. And for any of y'all that followed the Gannon Stouch case, it is the exact same bridge that Letitia Stouch, Gannon's stepmom, threw the suitcase over. That same spot. I'll let the body cam footage show you what happened next.
And if you guys want to see this TikTok, come on over to come over to YouTube. We're live on Instagram too, y'all, and Facebook tonight. So shout out to Instagram and Facebook. I think there's 3 people watching on Instagram right now. Yeah, getting those numbers up. Y'all, the Mystery Project on YouTube. Come on over. Pleasure. Good to see you. Thanks for Tiny Diny. And y'all hit me with those little finger heart things. Ooh. Almost got him there. Damn. There's some car parts falling off. And done. Oh. Oh, hell. Yeah, you're done right there. Boom. Who's that? Well, that dude got the hell out of there. Oh, he jumped off. Oh, he didn't jump off. He was trying to jump off. And he just ran. He's like, oh, hell no. I ain't trying to deal with that. Oh, hell. Get him. This is crazy. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's about to jump off on that side. Man. You crazy as hell.
What are y'all grabbing?
You had gone out and break the...
Come here, Streeter. Streeter, come here. Hey, buddy. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Come here, baby.
Man, these cops have to be all like up into like almost waist deep water.
Hey, you on that? You take him. We're going forward.
Now, as you can see, after the pit maneuver,
Man, that dude is crazy as hell. First off, you're going to jail, right? Wherever you did, you're going to jail for that. Second off, now you're going for evading arrest, reckless driving, all this stuff. Then you're running from the police officers. So you're going to have all these extra charges. Then you jump off a bridge 30, 40 feet down. So you probably got some broken ankles. Something's messed up. And on top of that, the dog, the canine deputy, jumps off the bridge after you and then bites the hell out of you. Man, you are crazy as hell. You got all kinds of new charges. You got broken ankles. You got dog bites all over you. And you look like an idiot on the internet. Man, you crazy as hell for that.
3 suspects jumped out of the car, and you could see 2 of them jump off the bridge, and you see another one basically start running. Then you see Canine Streeter went after them. This was a 40-foot drop.
One of our canines, Canine Streeter, also chased the suspect. This is Canine Streeter, who does what he's supposed to do. He does what he's trained to do. He's
hell!
Trained to.
The dog was fine. The dog, it said that he had some bruising and like minor injuries. Totally fine.
To chase and apprehend bad guys, no matter where they go, no matter what they do. So this is Streeter. Go and play this video. Now his handler,
man, that dog was like, "Let me at him." Where's he going? Let me at him.
Deputy Stimmel is trying to get him in the right spot so that he can see the suspects as they were running. And then he sees that the suspect had jumped over this bridge, and our Canine Streeter, this
Look at him.
brave boy, jumps over that bridge as well. And then
That dog didn't even look. That dog went, oh, that man went over that bridge. Went right after him.
Into that water, probably 34
Why didn't they show that? I want to see the dog actually, like, I mean, they show the leap. He's on his way over, but he didn't see him go down.
feet easy. And then we end up having to fish K9 Streeter out. This is a video of our deputies that are on the ground underneath those two bridges, one going east and one going west. I think Michael told me it's north and south, but there's two bridges there, and we're trying to capture the three people that jumped over, and we're also trying to recover our K9, who is probably injured at this point because of the fall and doing his duty. So if you can play this video real quick. You can also see the swampy area and the dedication of the men and women of the sheriff's office. At this point, we're trying to get drones in the air. We're trying to get boats in the water, so that we can better serve the public by getting these three murderers off the street.
Now, the video that I saw was just a little clip of somebody saying, "Oh my gosh, the dog."
Yeah, Sarcastic Sheila, that's what they said. That was their first intent, was getting in there and getting the dog and then finding the guy.
People jumping off the right too. The dog.
Oh, they did it. They show it. Yo, the dog, you see the dog jump off. Oh my God, that was awesome. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? Come over to YouTube right now. You can watch it. The Mystery Project on YouTube.
Right too.
Look at that. Boom.
The dog.
That's crazy as hell. That dog went, oh, hell no. I'm about to get some treats catching this dude.
The police dog just jumped off the bridge. Babe.
Oh, hell.
This was the initial video.
Yeah, that dog was like, wee! You know, yo, they literally, when he let him off the leash, that dog took about 10 feet up and then just turned sideways and jumped off that thing. Holy hell.
That I seen where
Debbie, thank you for the what's that called? Finger hearts, y'all. Let's get it. We're almost there, about 100 left.
the dog jumped, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what happened? Where did this start? Is the dog okay?" K9 Streeter was indeed injured, but has since made a full recovery.
Hell
But
yeah.
we'll come back to him later. Now, one of the suspects, 22-year-old Travion Moten, when he jumped off of the bridge, he completely missed the water, and sadly, he passed away from his injuries related to
Sadly?
the fall.
What? That dude took someone's life and then jumped off a bridge, and sadly he no. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. You do what you did, you run from the police, and then you decide to jump off a bridge. You did that to yourself. That's not sadly. That dude, come on.
The second suspect,
Am I alone in that? Thumbs up if you agree with me, thumbs down if not. Maybe I'm just heartless, but I mean, come on. You in somebody else's life, you run from the police, and then you chose to jump off a bridge and you missed the water. Man, you crazy as hell for that.
19-year-old Jacarius Etheridge was caught and he was arrested. He was charged with first-degree premeditated murder and
Yeah, good.
also felony murder for the death of Travion. And he was also charged with crimes related to those 40 shots that
Oh, so the guy who was driving the car got charged with the dude jumping off and himself also. I think that's, yeah, he should be charged with that as well. That's a whole bunch of thumbs up on YouTube. I saw nothing but thumbs up over here on TikTok as well. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, come on. I mean, yeah, it sucks that the whole thing happened, but you can't feel bad about somebody who made all of those decisions themselves. You know what I mean?
we talked about earlier, as well as fleeing from law enforcement.
Like if one of his friends had pushed him off, that's a different story. But he chose to do all of that.
And he also faces 2 life sentences if he ends up getting convicted. Now, the third suspect initially got away. As a matter of fact, as I was still invested in this whole situation, trying to find out if the dog was okay, and then afterwards, this was as this was going on in real time. Afterwards, when I found out what the 3 guys were accused of doing, firing those rounds in the air. Was somebody hurt? Were they okay? What happened?
Oh, hell.
The following morning, there was all these officers out in that same area looking in the water for this third suspect, believing that he had jumped over as well and was in the water somewhere, alive or not. However, initially, he got away. Now, as for those 40 shots that reportedly went off before the chase even started, it is being considered a drive-by. A 70-year-old woman named Myra Hayes was struck in the neck and she was transported to the hospital in critical condition.
Oh, hell no.
Where she unfortunately later passed away. She was the
They took the life of a 70-year-old woman just because they were firing off in the air. Man, you crazy as hell for that.
only one injured, and it is said that allegedly she was just
See, that part is sadly.
sitting on her porch. So a 70-year-old woman
She was
is
just sitting on her porch.
just sitting on her porch, and this happened. Absolutely devastating. According to the sheriff, he believes that this whole incident was retaliation for another incident that occurred back in June 20th that ended the life of a 22-year-old named Terrell Owens.
The shooter,
Oh, hell. Doesn't that dude play football?
as we understand it, is
Crazy as hell.
likely linked to a homicide that took place in the city limits, and this is a retaliation for that. So we got indication the stolen car was going down Harris Boulevard.
Debbie, thank you.
We start heading that way. We get a shot spotter indication that 40 rounds have been shot. Then we get the indication that this car is leaving the area.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, K9 Streeter was injured and he was transported to a local emergency animal hospital.
And this is K9
good.
Streeter was injured during his jump, his leap. During doing his duty, he was kept overnight at the emergency vet on Davis, and then he went to Westside Animal Hospital for a follow-up. And
Oh, look at them ladies. All those veterinarians and vet techs. They're like, oh, we're going to take good care of this puppy dog.
these are some of the people
That's amazing.
that took good care of our brave boy right there.
Man, look at that puppy dog. He's like, what's up? What'd I do? What'd I do? He didn't even know. Oh, that's crazy.
And he does.
Go back and rewatch y'all about 10 minutes ago when they had the video of like the person in the back, like way off the bridge, and they get the dog jumping off of the bridge. It's crazy.
Does have some injuries, so I'm putting him on desk duty until about Friday, but he'll be able to return back.
Putting him on desk duty.
Back to duty, and he's a bit of a hero because he
A
did
bit.
what all the men and women at the sheriff's office do. They don't stop until they catch the bad guy. And if you've ever been over to that bridge, you know that's a pretty good drop. I was up there last night, and it was just I'm not sure how anyone could survive that, but our K9 did.
Now, I want to play a piece of the video
That's incredible.
of the dog running and jumping off the side of the bridge again.
People jumping off the right
Yeah.
too?
Woo.
The dog just jumped. The police dog just jumped off the bridge. Babe. What is going on?
Now, when I first saw this, I must have watched the video of Officer K9 Streeter 20 times. Me and my husband sat there watching it over and over again because I'm thinking like, what a faithful dog. He just got out of that car and was ready to go. You know what I mean? Just open up the car door and the dog doesn't think. He doesn't ask questions.
Nope.
He doesn't need a drink of water. Doesn't need to smoke a cigarette first. He's not
What?
arguing, oh my gosh, it's hot out here. The dog just goes.
Snapped into
In fact,
action.
he just ran and jumped over the side of the bridge, not even knowing what was there because he's so faithful. And I was like, oh my gosh. Well, he deserved it for sure. And he ended up receiving the Medal of Courage from the sheriff's office. A presentation was held in
hell
honor for
yeah.
Streeter. And this is such a beautiful thing, such a silver lining in something terrible that happened. But Eric
That's one of those things of like, man, we don't even deserve dogs with how unbelievably loyal and amazing they are. Like as humans, man, that's crazy. And the Streeter, y'all, it was named after this guy. So this is, I think his name was Eric Streeter. That was a deputy, a fallen deputy. And they named the canine after him. So he got his last name. The canine did. That's so cool.
Streeter's family. Remember, you guys, what we were talking about earlier, the one that passed away in the line of duty back in 1984, the one who Canine Streeter is named after.
Whoa, and from the 80s.
Their family came to the presentation. And just like you guys saw in the video earlier, where the sheriff said that they name their canines after officers that have passed away in the line of duty
Man, I'm digging that.
in order to keep their name alive. And you guys, I did not know any of this before. I was sitting there scrolling on
That's
Facebook
incredible.
and seeing the dog run and jump over the side, and me frantically researching to try to find out if the dog was okay, and then finding out everything else with the 70-year-old woman and the family of Eric Streeter. And it's just
Great, thank you.
so many amazing things in a terrible situation. Now, this third suspect that we were talking about that initially got away, he was arrested 5 days later, okay? 5 days later, with all of that going on. 19-year-old Terrence Gross Jr. was found with his father, and he was arrested near the border in Laredo, I think it's pronounced, Texas.
Laredo, Texas.
The sheriff's office believes that he was literally on his way to cross the border to go into Mexico, because he was very, very, very close.
Oh, hell.
He is being charged with attempted fleeing and eluding with a weapon and some other charges. The sheriff's office has said that they are considering pressing charges on Terrence's father for assisting
harboring
Terrence
him
in his escape.
Hell yeah.
I've been in law enforcement a long time. It's probably the first time that I recall an incident just like this. That's why we train.
Gross spent almost 5 days on the run and was found nearly 1,000 miles away, not far from the U.S.-Mexico border in Laredo, Texas.
He was in a truck with his father.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for
Heading
you?
down Mexico way. A couple days ago, we kind of got
Man, that's crazy as hell.
some word that he may have escaped the perimeter, and then we were going off that assumption, which led us to develop the partnership with the Texas authorities, and they ended up stopping him for us.
And the
Oh, hell yeah. Them Rangers gonna get him. Spitfire, thank you. Go for great. Thank you. Amy, thank you. Y'all were hitting goals over on TikTok. Thanks for the love. TikTok, hit the follow button. If you're new here, tap the screen like crazy. Let's get 25,000 likes. YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. We don't have 100 likes yet. What? Come on, y'all. Hit the little thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new. We're live on Facebook, Instagram, and Rumble as well. So shout out to all y'all. Welcome in. Do the things on each little site over there. You know, do what you do. And let's keep on going. This one's almost over.
way that this whole situation happened is so sad when you really, really think about it. You think about the 22-year-old who lost his life a while back, that allegedly it is believed that these 3 young men were retaliating because of the 22-year-old that lost his life. Now, 3 young men, one of them has already lost his life because he jumped over the side of the bridge and completely missed the water.
Virginia, absolutely. Yeah.
If you guys saw when the car was stopped, it's like they didn't even look. Just the one just jumped over. Awful. And you got 3 young men who may have just, one lost their life and the other 2 may have lost theirs. And obviously a desperate father.
Thanks for the
The
bears,
father
y'all.
that drove his son to Texas and was possibly going to help him cross the border. You got to be a desperate father. And I don't say that in a derogatory way. I say that in a heartbreaking way.
What? Oh, hell, that's not heartbreaking. That's horrible. If you were a good father, you turn him in. If you're a good father, you let him face the consequences for his actions. It's not a derogatory thing to say, hey, you did something really dumb. Somebody lost their life. Somebody else lost their life. You need to pay the price for that. I think it's disgusting that he helped him try to escape to Mexico, and he 100% should be brought up on charges. That is crazy as hell. Am I alone in that one too, y'all? I don't know. Thumbs up in the chat if you agree. Thumbs down. Nah, the dad just did what a dad should do. No.
I mean,
If a dad did what he should do, that kid wouldn't have even been in that situation. He'd have been like, nah, I'm good. I'm not trying to hang out with people like that do crazy stuff like that. I'm good.
you've got your kid and he's thinking, you know, Awful. These young men made a decision, and 2 of them are sitting in jail right now and looking at life in prison, and one of them's already lost their life, and their parents are somewhere devastated. And you got a 70-year-old woman who was just sitting on her porch, probably getting some fresh air, looking at the birds, and then instantly, in one pop, she's on the way to the hospital and loses her life. And even though all of that is sad, disappointing, and heartbreaking, and again, I cannot imagine how the family members of the 70-year-old woman feels, and how the family
Yeah, that's who I feel bad for. The innocent victim.
members of the 3 young men feel, because they did something so stupid. I'm just going to say it. Just firing off those rounds in the air, maybe to scare somebody, and they hit somebody, an elderly woman, and now look what their lives are, and their friend lost his life. But even with all of that, to learn everything that I learned, and now
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
that y'all have learned, if you've made it this far in the video, of Canine Streeter and the whole situation with renaming the canine officer after a fallen officer, I just thought that
That
was
is really
amazing. I
cool.
thought it was beautiful. I hope that Canine Streeter got all the treats, and it just makes me look at
Oh, hell yeah, he did.
canine officers just a little bit differently. I already love them. I think all dogs are cute, right?
Oh, Stephanie, for sure.
now
she
I
was.
just look at them just a little bit more differently. Like, how faithful, how amazing. These dogs will literally take a bullet for their officers that quick and not
Or jump 40 feet off a bridge.
even think about it. Jump over the side of a bridge and not even bat an eye. It's incredible.
Oh, Lord. That's the first one, y'all. We got 3 other videos to watch tonight. This next one is crazy, y'all. This next one, man, y'all get ready for this one. Buckle up. Buckle up, because this is crazy. YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. We got 25 likes. We're at 100.
A gross and shocking crime has been reported in Central Florida involving a veteran firefighter and his wife. The 2 appeared in court this week accused of forcing a 16-year-old child to engage in sex acts. We're breaking down the charges against the couple with former sex crimes
Man, you crazy as hell for that one, y'all. Veteran firefighter, lieutenant firefighter, gets a 16-year-old boy to perform with his wife while he watches. Man, that's crazy as hell.
Prosecutor Serena Townsend. Hillsborough County, Florida Fire Rescue had to put one of its longtime firefighters on unpaid leave last week after he was arrested on
Unpaid leave? They didn't fire him immediately?
multiple counts of unlawful sex with a minor. Fire Rescue Lieutenant Sasha Engel was booked into jail on Thursday alongside his wife, Alyssa Engel. The court documents in the case are sealed to protect the privacy of the victim, but Florida journalists who have seen the affidavit report, which reveals more shocking details. The report alleges Sasha Engel forced a 16-year-old boy to have sex with the
Oh, you crazy as hell for that. There's Alyssa, right? Elisa? Good to see you. And shout out to the nurses.
Alyssa Engel while Sasha watched.
Oh,
According to the
hell.
Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, the investigation started back in April when the teenage victim told a trusted adult about what happened when he spent the night over at the couple's house in March.
Why the heck did he spend the night?
But authorities say the
How did
victim
that
was known
happen?
to Sasha and Alyssa Engel before the alleged assault. The crime reportedly happened at the couple's house in Riverview outside of Tampa. When the teen reported everything,
Florida's
Sasha was a
crazy.
lieutenant with the Hillsborough County Fire Rescue.
Florida's crazy as hell. We got people jumping off bridges, dogs jumping off bridges. Then we got this. Oh, I forgot to change the picture on TikTok. Hang on, y'all. I got you. Bam. We got these people doing crazy things. Oh, Lord.
He had worked there since 2004, being promoted from firefighter to fire medic 1 in 2015, and then on to lieutenant in 2020. When he was arrested, Sasha was put on unpaid leave. Alyssa, meanwhile, worked as a legal assistant with the state attorney's office of the 13th Judicial
Oh, hell.
Circuit from 2018 to 2021. The current district attorney wasn't in office when Alyssa worked there, but nonetheless chose to recuse herself. An executive order from Governor Ron DeSantis called on the 10th Judicial Circuit to handle the case. Part of that order reads, quote, the Honorable Susan S. Lopez, to avoid a
Crazy.
conflict of interest or any appearance of impropriety, has voluntarily disqualified herself and has requested the executive assignment of another state attorney regarding
Because she worked there.
the investigation and prosecution of this case and all related matters regarding Alyssa Aaron Engel and Sasha Alexander Engel. The Honorable Brian Haas, state attorney for the 10th Judicial Circuit of Florida, has agreed to accept an executive assignment in this matter. Both Engels were brought to court last week to find out about their bond.
The state would also ask for pretrial release conditions of GPS monitoring, no contact with minors, no contact specifically with the victim, and to stay 500 feet from the victim's residence, vehicle, and school.
A defense attorney argued that the bond should
Snapchat
be set based on one crime, not three.
But I recognize 3 charges have been filed. It's really one incident that 3 charges arose out of. I believe really it's probably more appropriate to view this as one charge.
But the judge didn't take that advice.
What?
He set a bond of $50,000 per charge for each of the suspects. According to jail records, Sasha bonded out, but Alyssa is still locked up. However, the married couple were arraigned on Tuesday. The Hillsborough County Sheriff said in a statement, quote, it is both disgusting and deeply disappointing to see not one, but 2 adults join together to take advantage of a young child, especially when one of those adults is a trusted authority in our community.
Man, that is crazy. So is that paranormies in the house? Holy hell, what y'all doing, man? Talk about Canadians right here. What you doing, Canadians?
This egregious violation of innocence is disgraceful.
Hey, I'm gonna be there soon. I'm gonna be there in like a month. Well, not in Manitoba, but in Quebec, Calais, Montreal. I'm coming for you. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Well, what's up, guys? Good to see you. Long time no see. Let's keep going.
And goes against every value we stand for in this community. We have a lot to break down in this case, and joining me in studio is criminal defense attorney and former crimes prosecutor Serena Townsend. Serena, always a pleasure.
Oh, hell, here we
to
go.
see you, and thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
This case is really disturbing on so many levels. I mean, a firefighter allegedly forcing a 16-year-old boy to have sex with his wife while he watched
That's crazy.
all of this happen. What was your reaction to this case?
Just really disturbing. Obviously, this is bad on every level, no matter what. But the fact that we're dealing with a civil servant, a public servant, a lieutenant in the fire department, clearly somebody who knows better, who has chosen a job to try to protect us, right? Try to protect civilians. And now he's putting this young boy in harm's way. And the wife, who is a former state's attorney employee. I mean, just these are the people who should absolutely know better. They know the law and they know they're breaking it.
And you've prosecuted crimes. And for me, when we hear about these stories, my mind always goes to the victim. This is just a 16-year-old boy who, by all accounts, is growing into themselves. They're probably going through puberty, and then they're taken advantage of by what could have been trusted adults. What is it like for the victims in these types of cases, and what goes through their minds?
You know, it's very traumatizing. I think sometimes people feel like, oh, teenage boys, you know, they're immune to trauma on this kind of category, but it's not true at all. Studies have very clearly shown, and I've dealt with victims myself, survivors of crimes myself, males of this age, and the trauma is deep. They experience it just as much as any girl would. And it lasts. It's long lasting. People who are in trustworthy positions like firefighters, police officers, teachers, you know, you're raised to try to trust them and to think that they're there for you, to help you. And now you have the trauma of being exposed.
That is crazy as hell. Paranormies, absolutely. Be in touch, man. Let's make it happen.
To this really sordid and criminal behavior as a victim, it's very difficult to have to endure. And then again, going through the criminal justice process itself is traumatizing.
And we were discussing this a little bit before we had started the interview about just the process, where we both were kind of agreeing that this doesn't just happen the first time the boy meets these adults. There had to have been a process that escalated to the point they felt comfortable enough to commit this crime, allegedly. What are your thoughts about the process, and what does that kind of look like in these types of cases?
Absolutely. So it would be very weird and rare for these 2 grown adults to be in any sort of relationship with a 16-year-old boy. I have no idea how they even know this person. But yeah, it would be very strange.
That's the crazy part. I'm wondering what the hell happened there. Y'all, make sure you follow the Paranormies too if you like the paranormal content stuff. They are super rad. And y'all, just let me know. Let me know when. We can make it happen.
For this boy to come over to their house and just have this interaction on the first go. There had to have been some sort of process, some sort of relationship where this boy trusted these two people, trusted them enough, and his parents obviously trusted these people enough to let their son be at this house. I don't know how many times he's been there, but it's pretty clear that it wasn't the first time. We know from these types of cases that people are oftentimes not caught right away. And so time might tell, and we might find out more about this relationship. And it might be that there are more instances of, criminal activity between these individuals. And that's really,
that's crazy as hell.
Scary and
yeah, Paranormies, let me know, dude. Just send it to me.
Really sad for the victim.
I think a lot of times when we think of abusers, we think of somebody in a giant white van. But these two in particular, like you had mentioned, a firefighter, lieutenant,
a giant white van,
and someone who used to work in the state attorney's office, who we all
I don't know, it's everybody, y'all. You have no idea. These people are crazy as hell and they blend in. Man, it's crazy.
think may have just been outstanding figures.
I don't trust anybody. You what? Oh, hell no. Oh, we're gonna take him on down to the pool.
How dare you?
The hell you are. I'm gonna take him to the pool. You crazy.
But as we can tell by these allegations, which are pretty shocking, that, abuse can kind of come in all different forms. What are your thoughts, especially given that these two, again, firefighter, lieutenant, and a former legal assistant in the state attorney's office, they should have known better?
They absolutely should have known better. And it's scary for regular people out here thinking, we know how to determine who the are in our lives and who they aren't. It's simply not true. And we've learned that that's not true. And it's
sadly,
it's sad because you don't know who to trust in life. And it just goes
No
to show
one.
you that parents and teachers,
no one.
all caretakers need to be very careful. And this is not to blame the parents, but we all need to be very careful with our children. And we need to know who we're trusting, because we have found that, like you said, they don't just ride around in big white vans. There are doctors, there are lawyers, there are teachers, they are everywhere. And it's hard to tell who is who. You just have to really monitor your children and their lives.
And the current
You gotta be a damn parent.
district attorney in Hillsborough,
Like we just talked about in that last case where they were like, oh, I feel bad for the dad that had to help his son try to flee to Mexico after they someone. Man, you crazy as hell.
County did have to recuse themselves from this case, despite even not working with Alyssa Engel at the time. Do you think that that was the right move for her to recuse herself?
Yeah.
Yes, there has to be no conflict of interest whatsoever. And the fact that this woman worked in that office, even if the head prosecutor, the DA themselves was not, intimately involved with this woman, or even casually involved with this woman.
Oh, hell, that's a choice of words right there. How old was that person?
It's important that
Oh, hell, you're gonna burn in hell for that one. That's crazy.
This case be handled by a totally different office. Otherwise, there could be, a pretty genuine appeal if she's convicted. So.
And looking at some of the bond conditions, we have $50,000 on each charge, as well as GPS monitoring, and no contact with minors or the victim in this case. Do you think that's appropriate as bond conditions, given kind of the severity of this crime?
Well, 50,000 seems a little bit low, honestly. We don't know every single detail of the crime yet, but obviously it's a felony charge. That's a high level
Goes to girl, right?
I think 50,000 is quite low. I think probably the reason it's low is because the judge took into consideration the fact that these individuals don't have a prior criminal history. They're probably not really a flight risk. And those are the things that are, usually taken into consideration when it comes to setting bail. The fact that they're being monitored with an ankle monitor is very important and very good. So at least if they make bail at such a low rate, which they probably, will or have, they'll at least be monitored by the ankle monitor. But it does seem a little bit low to me.
And how tough is it, or what kind of uphill battle is it to prosecute this type of case, given that the Engels are married? So when potentially crafting a defense, those two could maybe concoct a story together. What are your thoughts just on, or what's your opinion on kind of prosecuting this type of case, given that the two defendants are married to each other?
Right. I mean, it'll actually be very interesting to see how that unfolds from both sides. So on the prosecution side, you're going to need the cooperation of the 16-year-old. Right now, it's very early and we don't know what kind of evidence exists. We don't know if there's hard evidence like text messages, phone calls, videos, maybe even DNA. We don't really know if that exists. And to the extent that it doesn't, the prosecution really needs to rely heavily on this 16-year-old's credibility and his testimony. So that's on the prosecution side. On the defense side, at least right now, it seems like they have the same lawyer, both defendants. I would be very surprised if it stays that way. I think, in order to represent both parties, they would really have to waive any sort of conflict. Both parties would have to. But it's kind of a dangerous position to take. I think they should probably each have their own attorney, because you never know as the case proceeds, one may want to try to point the finger at the other. One may be more culpable than the other. And so that'll be kind of interesting to watch as this case plays out.
And I can only imagine how traumatizing this entire experience could be for the victim.
Y'all, and supposedly the dude bonded out, but the wife is still in jail. Dude bonded himself out and left his wife in prison. Man, you crazy as hell for that. You know how pissed she's going to be just for that? She's about to turn state's evidence. What? Man, you crazy for that one, dude. You should have bailed her out.
In this case, do you see this case actually going to trial, or do you see potentially that prosecutors may offer the Engels a plea deal?
I think it's possible that there might be a plea deal here. A prosecutor always has to take into consideration the re-traumatization of their victim, right? So this 16-year-old boy has already faced trauma in this experience, but going through the criminal justice process of having to go to court, having to go to a DA's office, being prepped, being asked tons of questions, and having to revisit the issue over and over again. And then, of course, at trial, having to sit in front of your abusers and point to them and testify about them. It's really a re-traumatizing event. And so prosecutors will always take that into account. The victim's willingness to move forward, the willingness to testify, and how much they have to rely on him in order to make their case. And so it's possible that in order to avoid all of that, they'll make an offer to both defendants to try to resolve the case outside of trial.
And say the Engels are convicted in this case. In your opinion, what is...
Y'all, hit me with those bears real quick. Let's crush that bear goal. TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new here. Keep tapping the screen like crazy. Let's get 50,000 likes. Come over to YouTube if you want to watch the video. Search The Mystery Project. It's pinned on the screen. You can see these people. YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. We still don't have 100 likes. Oh, YouTube, I had another video for tonight, but we might not watch it. We don't even have 100 likes yet, y'all. And we've been live for an hour. Oh, no.
Unhinged bananas crazy.
Y'all, I thought these were good stories. Apparently not. Oh, Lord. Might have to rethink everything. We might go back to just all Gypsy Rose all the time.
How dare you?
Apparently that's what y'all want.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
The gasp. Lord, no. Y'all, hit the thumbs up button. Let's keep going. This one's almost done.
Justice look like, especially for the victim?
Well, justice comes in a lot of forms. We like to say, or we have to say, unfortunately, that nobody's ever fully repaired after going through a trauma like that. And so when you seek justice and you seek to try to make the victim whole again, unfortunately, it never really will happen. The best thing that you can do is get that victim a sense of closure. And so whether that looks like a conviction after trial, or if the 16-year-old boy feels, you know what, I don't really want to go to trial, but at the very least, let them have to register as offenders and let them have to admit to something, whether it's the top count,
put them on the list,
or maybe a lower count. Let them have a criminal record, admit their guilt, have to be honest offender registry so that this doesn't happen to anybody else again. And
There you go.
then, you know, there's always that, you know, thought process of a civil lawsuit.
And what could a civil lawsuit look like in this type of case?
So a lot of times a civil lawsuit relies a lot on the outcome of the criminal case. Because the burden of proof is so much higher in a criminal case beyond a reasonable doubt, if the defense either takes a plea or loses at trial, then the victim and his family could use that conviction as proof for their civil case, which has a lower burden of proof. And so they could seek compensation from both parties after the fact if they're so inclined.
All right, Serena Townsend, excellent discussion. I really appreciate your time today and always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, snap. Moving right along. What do we got next? Ooh, YouTuber headlines. All right, let's go. Y'all wanted it, so here we go. I bet you this is going to get the likes up. This is going to get the likes up. You did this to yourselves, YouTube and TikTok.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard is finally speaking out about the copyright strikes she put on 2 creators' channels.
Oh, hell. Here we go. Remember she did that. Oh, apparently she didn't do that. It was somebody else. Oh, Lord. Here we go.
Gypsy struck Flawless Nina's YouTube channel.
Telling you this right now, one thing about me is I'm relentless. And when you do stuff like this, I'm going for you. I'm going to make you feel it.
And Conspiracy's channel.
Oh, hell.
Yeah, I just can't even believe it. I just saw it today, but it was filed yesterday.
I have a full video covering this conversation. It was actually a YouTube live with Conspiracy and Flawless Nina. If you want to go check that out next, I will link it at the end of this video. On YouTube, a strike can mean that your content has been flagged for review and doesn't follow the platform's guidelines. You can receive a strike for a number of reasons, including not following community guidelines and copyright infringement. If a copyright owner submits a valid complaint, YouTube will take the video down and apply a copyright strike. If a user gets 3 copyright strikes in 90 days, their account, along with any other associated channels, will be terminated. There are 3 ways to handle a copyright strike. You can wait for the strike to expire, which usually takes about 90 days. You can request a retraction. If you believe the copyright claim against your video is a mistake, you can contact the person who made the claim. Or you can file a counter notification. If you believe that your video was taken down by mistake, or if it falls under fair use, you have to file a counter notification, which means you have to submit a form with your information on it, your full name, your address, and all of this information goes to the person who put the copyright strike on your channel. And then from there, I believe they
That is crazy as hell, YouTube.
Have 7 to 10 days to legally take action against you since they're claiming you committed copyright infringement. Conspiracy said she did reach out to Gypsy after she received the copyright strike. She sent her this message on TikTok saying, "Are you serious? Filing a copyright strike against me on YouTube? The video you filed against me is a reaction video plus my commentary, which falls under fair use. So if I want to appeal that and win, then it falls back on you against your YouTube channel." Conspiracy She said after she sent Gypsy this message, she blocked her on TikTok. That's the reason it says account not found at the top instead of Gypsy's name. She
Lord. BJ, thank
also
you.
said Gypsy did not respond to the message, but Gypsy's friend Bree went on live a short time later talking about the strikes on Flawless Nina's account and Conspiracy's account. In case you're wondering how Bree and Gypsy became friends, I'm pretty sure I remember Bree saying either on live or on TikTok that she made a video about Gypsy and Gypsy reached out to her, and that's how they became internet friends. Bree is on TikTok a lot defending Gypsy. I was just on TikTok and I saw that Bree was live. She's on live with a bunch of creators and they were all arguing about what Gypsy did, what she didn't do, what she said, what she didn't say.
Oh, Lord. BJ, thank you. Y'all hit me with embarrass. Let's get it.
I would say most of Bree's content is all about Gypsy. Let's get into Bree's live because during this live, Bree says that Gypsy did not place the copyright strikes.
What?
She says her PR team did it.
I actually was on the phone today with Gypsy for like an hour and a half. And when I was on the phone with her, Sir Marbit was on live, actually. And it's funny because she was talking to me about what they were actually talking about.
I do think it's interesting that Ken and Gypsy sit around and listen to all of these creators that discuss Gypsy. How would they know what was being discussed on that live if they weren't watching it? Plus, Gypsy said the other day that she watches videos made about her.
Oh, hell. Riley, thanks for the llama thing. That was cool, too. Damn, y'all crazy as hell on TikTok tonight. Thank you.
The copyright violations, and because I think Nina and Conspiracy or whatever her name is, I don't like that girl. Well, I don't like her, but I definitely don't like Nina. But anyway, so Nina got a video taken down. This is a little bit of tea that I'm gonna give y'all. And so as far as Conspiracy, so her PR team is the one that did that, not her.
A PR team, a public relations team, can help a business build a positive relationship and image with the general public. PR teams work with their clients to develop compelling press releases that capture the attention of reporters and editors. They also have relationships with journalists and the media, which they can use to pitch story ideas and get their client's name in the news. PR teams work with content creators, and I highly doubt they're striking content creators' YouTube channels and not letting Gypsy know. If they are doing things like that without letting her know first, without getting her permission first, I see that as a big problem.
PR team.
This is a screenshot of the copyright strike Conspiracy received, and as you can see, it says content removal request issued by @GypsyRoseBlanchard.YouTube, which
that's her channel,
is the name of Gypsy's YouTube channel. Contact information, social media, gyp@gmail.com. So that's probably the PR agency's team's email. On behalf
what? If your PR agency's email is a Gmail account? I mean,
How dare you?
that's crazy as hell, y'all. It better be Gypsy at whatever the name of that company is .com, not social media gyp@gmail.com. Man, you crazy as hell for that one.
He needs some milk.
That's insane.
Half of Gypsy. So it does sound like
I'd fire him just for that. Oh, send me the contract for the PR team. Oh, okay. It's gonna come from my Gmail. Bruh. Never mind. Keep it.
She has given them permission to access her YouTube channel and do these things because otherwise they wouldn't be able to do it without her permission. They don't have access to her YouTube channel unless she gave them the authority. So,
Which is crazy as hell. You should never do that.
while I do believe that her PR team,
Unless it's somebody running your social media. And in that case, you don't even give them access. You just give them managing whatever it is. Like you can make somebody like a managing partner or whatever on your channel without giving them the whole thing.
put these strikes
Because of stuff like this.
on Flawless Nina and Conspiracy. I also believe that they did it on behalf of Gypsy. They are working for Gypsy. So anything they do on her behalf, essentially it's coming from Gypsy. This kind of reminds me of what happened with some of the Teen Mom girls. I'll use Janelle as an example because she currently has one of these links in her stories. But if you click this link in Janelle's story, it takes you to an article that I'm assuming was written about Caitlyn. It says Caitlyn going off about daughter Carly's adoptive parents. Well, sometimes Janelle and other teen moms will post these links in their stories, sending viewers to an article that essentially pays them every time someone clicks that link. So she's doing this to make money, but she's gotten backlash in the past for doing this because sometimes these articles are insensitive, depending on what the current situation is. And Janelle and other teen
what?
moms have said in the past, oh, I'm not posting these links. My PR team is posting these links in my stories. I didn't do it. And then everybody came back and said, if your PR team is doing it, then yes, you actually are doing it because you did give them permission to do things like this.
Yeah.
So you can't hide behind, oh, I didn't do it, my PR team did. Because you give your PR team access to your social media.
Yup.
So anything they do is on your behalf. Next, Bree is talking about the message Conspiracy sent Gypsy asking about copyright striking her channel.
Okay, so Conspiracy messaged her, I guess, and said, like, why did you copyright my video? But the thing is her video, she does talk in it. It is playing Gypsy's video, but she does talk in it. The thing is YouTube suggested that as a copyright violation. That's the reason her PR team reported it.
The copyright tool isn't always correct. Plus, when you are striking a creator's channel, that's a huge thing. I don't think that's something that should be left up to YouTube's system to determine if you're striking channels or not.
Oh, hell.
I think someone should review these videos and make that decision with Gypsy.
But Nina's video got taken down. Because it literally, let me tell y'all, I'm gonna show y'all. She sent me the text message of it. She basically, like, she stole Gypsy's content. It wasn't any type of commentary. It wasn't any kind of reaction.
Because Gypsy is on parole, she's not able to just speak out about all of these things, so she has Bree do it for her, which is interesting because she has a PR team. Why wouldn't a PR team make a statement on behalf of Gypsy and these copyright claims? Why is Bree?
Because they're trying to log into their Gmail. No, I have no idea. I'm not these people. Who knows? Who knows? But that does seem kind of strange that they wouldn't make a statement considering their public relations.
Doing it.
But okay, so look, this was Gypsy's video. Come meet our daughter, 17 weeks, ultrasound. Got the little star thing. Now look at that. That was Gypsy's video. I mean, this is Gypsy's video. Now look at Nina's video. Gypsy Rose, then come meet our daughter, 17 weeks, ultrasound appointment. Like, literally, like, it took the whole video. So if she's bitching about, whatchamacallit, what is it called? Copyright strike, she needs to not.
4 of Nina's videos were taken down, and Bree only addresses one of the videos. This is what Nina had to say about the videos that were taken down by Gypsy.
Oh, hell.
So she's saying basically her videos that I've have as a green screen is copyright infringement.
And it's not. It's fair use.
It's not. It's transformative. It's obvious.
Yeah.
What were the videos about? Same thing, like what you did.
Just
like
clips that you used from her TikToky. TikToky. Wait, Nina, were they actual TikTok videos that you transferred over?
Yeah, I was just going to ask that.
Yeah, legitimately. That's what I do is I upload them on both platforms.
Conspiracy said Christy, Gypsy's stepmom, left his comment on one of Bree's lives. One by one, they will all fall down.
Oh, hell.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is your girl, Angel Baby.
Y'all, Angel Baby. Go give her a follow. Or go give her a subscribe. She's pinned down in the description. This one says, Gypsy Rose is in some hot water. Oh, Lord. More so than what we just heard? Let's keep going.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Please, sir.
Oh, hell.
Please, I need a lawyer.
Okay, have a seat.
Seems as if Gypsy Rose Blanchard may have some trouble on her hand, or so people think. Now, a lot of people are talking about some new charges that are pending, and they're also talking about how Miss Gypsy may have to have that baby in prison. Now,
that's crazy as hell.
The reason for all this confusion, I'm just going to go ahead and break it down to you guys the simplest way I know how, because I've been hearing people talking about -1s and all this other stuff, and it's just making it so complicated. So basically what is going on is that Gypsy's case is missing from the file, which is a public file, It's called CaseNet. And people were thinking because they don't see that case there, that there's going to be new charges pending, because that's usually what happens when they pull a case. They're obviously going to be loading up new evidence and new charges are going to be pending.
Oh,
well,
hell.
in this case, they're saying that's not the case. The reason why Gypsy's files are missing, they believe it could be from possible security reasons. There's a few different reasons why her case file could be missing, but they are saying her being locked up is not one of the reasons. Now, the only person that can, hide this case, seal this case, whatever you want to say, is a judge. Okay, but in this case,
Well, there you go. Is that Andrea in the house? What you doing?
they're saying that Gypsy's not going back to prison and she won't be having her baby in prison. So people are saying all sorts of things, and I guess it's up to you to what you want to believe, especially the simple fact that they're saying that Gypsy's not having the baby in prison because it's coming from her so-called best friend, Bree. Okay, so Bree is getting all her information from Gypsy. So do with that what you will, because we already know that Gypsy she's a skilled liar. Basically, she said that she learned how to lie very, very well. And I've noticed that Gypsy is getting Bree to talk more and more about her and to get her business out. Whatever Gypsy wants to get out, she'll tell Bree, and then Bree will come out and tell everybody else. And just because it's coming from Bree, don't mean that it's not a lie. A matter of fact, in my opinion, you really can't trust anything Bree says anyway, because there was a video out about Bree trying to tell Gypsy how to lie. It's like they go in secret
Oh,
and
damn.
they plan these lies together, and then they present them to the public together. It's like, no, Gypsy, you're 33 years old. If you have something you want to say, be a woman and come out and say it. And quit acting like a teenager and have your friend pass messages. And Bree, you should start working on your own content so you can have a face and a voice for yourself, instead of sitting behind Gypsy and letting that be your own storyline. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but have your own thing going on. I mean, y'all, Bree is absolutely gorgeous. I don't care what nobody says. She can do some eye makeup like no other. Get into that. You could be a beauty influencer or something like that. You don't have to sit behind Gypsy and pass off her messages. There's one thing that Bree did say in one of her videos that I wanted to address. And she says that we act like we've never lied before. I'm pretty sure everybody has told a lie, whether it be a big lie, whether it be a small lie. But don't try to gaslight people, because the lies that Gypsy has told are major. These lies included someone's life and someone's freedom. So you cannot compare those lies to somebody asking me if I have $20 and I tell them I don't, knowing that I have a pocket full of money in my pocket. So please don't try to gaslight people. But just give it a few months, because Bree will be saying the same story about Gypsy that everybody else is telling. I mean, she thinks that Gypsy's her best friend, and she thinks that Gypsy's going to be loyal to her. Gypsy wasn't loyal to her own mother. She wasn't loyal in her own marriage. And she damn sure ain't going to be loyal to a woman that she met off the internet. I'm sorry, but I'm just keeping it real. Now, speaking
What
of
do y'all
people,
think?
doing Gypsy's dirty work, it is being alleged that, Gypsy has this whole group of people that's going around mass reporting videos on TikTok. And a lot of accounts are being taken away. Now, I know that Gypsy did do some copyright claims on her YouTube channel of some content, I guess, that was used of hers. And she requested a takedown and an immediate copyright strike.
Carol, thank you.
Now, I guess there was a few different creators that have experienced this, but from what I've seen, let me just take, for instance, there was one creator that put their paperwork up. And basically what YouTube does is they show them from 46 seconds all the way to 6 minutes and 20-some seconds you used her content. So with that, they would send over that information to Gypsy. And Gypsy can decide what she wants to do with it. She could either request a takedown within 7 days. She could just send them an email saying, hey, don't do it again. Or she could remove that video and she could just put them a strike, no matter what. And it seems like that's what she did.
Oh,
now it's
hell.
up to Gypsy to use her best discernment to see if that falls under fair use or not. Because if she does that, then the person that's being striked can come back at her with an appeal or whatever and say, I'm going to get an attorney. And then things would, kind of get messy from there. For example, I looked on Minds and there's a copyright strike. Not me. There was somebody who used my content. Okay, they used my content for about 3 minutes and I got the same email. And I decided, what did I want to do with it? I thought about it and I thought long and hard. And I said, you know what? Those 3 minutes, I feel in my heart should be under fair use. So I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm not going to send her a notice.
There you go.
Not going to do a 7-day on it. And I'm not going to do a strike on it. I'm just going to leave it. And that's the decision that I decided to make. Now, however, of course, if people are going after Gypsy and they have been roasted on her or whatever the hell she feels like is going on with her, she's going to get you the hardest way that she can. And it seems as if that's what she's done in this situation. Now, with those particular videos that Gypsy had taken down, I don't know if they should fall under fair use because I didn't see them. Like, I haven't watched them, so I don't know. Apparently, these creators are saying that they are under fair use. So I guess that's just to be determined, So if these creators are willing to fight for their belief that it is under fair use, then we'll just have to see what happens in the end.
Oh my goodness. Y'all, let me know. Let me know what you think. But anyways, I'm out of here. It's Friday. So I'm going to go get some sleep. Let's see what I did there. Love you guys. YouTube, hit the thumbs up button before you go. Tap the subscribe button or hit it or do whatever the hell you do to it. I love you guys. I'm out of here.